familiar spot for the Milwaukee Tech Stormers, but it was an unfamiliar route. Winners of the National Junior College Athletic Association Region 4 District B Championship in 5 of the last 6 years, it did not look like the Stormers were on their way back here to the traditional home of the NJCAA Region 4 semifinals and finals, that is Rock Valley College in Rockford, Illinois, at the end of the 2024-25 regular season. The Stormers entered the postseason with a record uncharacteristic of their success thus far in the 2020s, 12-17, their first sub-500 regular season mark since the year 2018. However, no matter their record, teams used to postseason success can become mighty dangerous once the calendar turns to March and they're given a fresh start. In this year's Region 4 quarterfinals, the Stormers traveled to Palos Hills, Illinois, and handed the Moraine Valley Cyclones an 81-78 defeat. Then last week, right here at RVC's Physical Education Center, the Waubonsee Chiefs didn't know what they were in for when the Stormers handed the top seed in the Region 4 Division 2 Region 4 Section B bracket a 78-74 upset. Now the Stormers are on the precipice of doing a familiar thing, but one that seemed unlikely just a couple weeks ago, winning yet another regional championship and making their way back to the NJCAA National Tournament in Danville, Illinois. Standing in their way, though, a rival and a familiar foe, the Bulldogs of South Suburban College, led by one of the few coaches who could outscream Stormers coach Randy Casey in a yelling contest, the legendary and fiery John Pagatti. While the Stormers were national champs in 2023, they followed up a Bulldogs team that won the national title a year prior with an undefeated 33-0 record in 2022. Just like the Stormers, the Bulldogs know the parquet floor here at Rock Valley College quite well themselves. In an unexpected Region 4 Section B championship, does South Suburban have that dog in them? Or will Hurricane Randy and the Stormers chase them back to Chicago? It's South Suburban, it's Milwaukee Tech, and it's championship time in Region 4. From the Physical Education Center on the campus of Rock Valley College in Rockford, Illinois, it's time for Milwaukee Tech Stormers basketball and the 2025 NJCAA Division 2 Region 4 Section B championship game. Good evening, everyone. Dan Pfeiffer with you from the fastener capital of the world, Rockford, Illinois, where tonight the Milwaukee Tech Stormers, winners of 5 of the last 6 Region 4 Section B titles, but having made it here to tonight's championship tilt with a record of 14-17, will take on the South Suburban Bulldogs, the second seed in the district, with a record of 22-10. Exciting times for this Milwaukee Tech Stormers team. Again, maybe not expecting to be here considering the way the regular season went, but they have come together late, pulled a couple upsets in the NJCAA Region 4 Section B tournament, and now they find themselves going up against the South Suburban Bulldogs with the right to go back to Danville, Illinois, and try and compete for a national title. This is a good South Suburban team, though. They come in with that record of 22-10. They beat Prairie State in their quarterfinal game on Thursday, February 27th, 88-58. Then they got a win over the Wolves of Madison College, 91-86 on Sunday, March 2nd last weekend, in order to make their way back here to Rock Valley College in order to take on the Stormers in this championship tilt. These two teams did face each other earlier this season on January 28th. That was at South Suburban College, and it was a win for the Bulldogs, but it was only by 4 points, 97-93. In that contest, Matthew Ford for the Stormers led the way with 23 points and 15 rebounds. However, South Suburban got 30 points and 10 rebounds from A.J. Abrams, a freshman guard out of Blue Island, Illinois. He led the way for the Bulldogs in a hotly contested tilt, as the games often are when these two teams get together. We talked about the fiery nature of both of these coaches. Randy Casey, you'll see him stomping up and down on the sideline. If you're not familiar with the 16th-year coach for the MATC Stormers, you'll find out real fast. He is an intense, hard-working, fiery gentleman, but he is matched over on the other sideline by the gentleman you see in the navy blue polo shirt with the white sleeves underneath. He may look a little bit like Shaka Smart when it comes to how he dresses, but the old man that is John Pagatti in his 19th year, he's got a lot of youthful energy in him once he gets to coaching his Bulldogs team. These are two coaches that will be in the face of our 3 referees tonight, Andrew Williams, Forrest Elysiak, and Ciola Clark III, as they try and call this championship tilt in District B, as this one comes down to the Stormers and the Bulldogs as we get set to get things underway here at Rock Valley College. We will take pause for introductions, which will begin shortly. We mentioned District B. This is one of 2 championship games that is going on tonight here at Rock Valley College. District A's championship game happened a little bit earlier. It was the Rock Valley Golden Eagles going up against the Bryant and Stratton Bobcats. also from Milwaukee, and Bryant and Stratton earned their way down to Danville with the championship win in the District A championship game. So now it's the District B championship. Region 4 is big enough that they are able to send 2 teams to Danville. So Bryant and Stratton is already going. There's a good rivalry between Milwaukee Tech and Bryant and Stratton in Milwaukee. There's also a good rivalry between Milwaukee Tech and South Suburban, and we will see that take place here in this District B championship game for the right to head down to Danville. Of course, if the Stormers can make their way down to Danville, it will be a bit of an upset considering the way that this season went. And the Stormers, it was not a singular thing this year. Injuries were a bit of an issue at times for the Stormers this year, but they've come together at the right time to get these victories to get here. 81-78 over Moraine Valley, as we mentioned in the intro, on Thursday, February 27th. And then that 4-point victory right here at Rock Valley College against Waubonsee. That happened last week, Sunday. And now we will see the Stormers take to the floor. A little bit of a reminiscent of Marquette intro here is where the streets have no name. A little U2 plays over the loudspeakers here at Rock Valley College. Julian Valentine will be one starter for the Stormers. He is a 6'1 freshman out of Pearland, Texas. Joining him will be Cyrus Little. He had 17 points in the first meeting between these two teams. He's a sophomore out of East Moline, Illinois. Also in the starting lineup for the Stormers, Matthew Horde. Talked about the game that he had against South Suburban, 23 points and 15 rebounds. It's Owen Smith that will join him in the starting lineup as the center. He's a Wauwatosa West Trojan, 6'6", a sophomore. And rounding out the starters for the Stormers will be Antonio Foxwell. He's out of Eldersburg, Maryland, 6'5", a sophomore. He has started in every game for the Stormers thus far this season, averaging 28.5 minutes per game, also averaging 13.1 points per contest for the Stormers. Horde, the top scorer for the Stormers on the season, averaging 16.5 points per game. Now we head over to the other side and we will see the starting lineup introduced for the Bulldogs of South Suburban College, located in South Holland, Illinois, very close to the state line between Illinois and Indiana. The first starter for the Bulldogs is A.J. Abrams. We talked about how much success he had against the Stormers in the first meeting between these two teams. Samar Burris is the second starter introduced for the Bulldogs. He's averaging 5.3 assists per game. That is top on the team for South Suburban. Third out of the starting lineup shoot is Kuba Sinsenshin. He is a sophomore out of Carpentersville, Illinois. He will be joined in the starting lineup by Tyler Wooten. And rounding out the starters for South Suburban will be Torian Mickens. Normally he wears number 22. Tonight he's going to wear number 12 for South Suburban. Torian Mickens, you don't want to put him at the free throw line. He was 8 of 8 shooting from the line in that 97-93 victory for the Bulldogs over the Stormers in the first meeting between these two teams back at the end of January. He is hitting at a 95.3% clip from the free throw line. He is averaging 9.7 points per game. Mentioned our officials for this contest: Andrew Williams, Forrest Elysiak, and Ciola Clark III. It will be Andrew Williams who will head to the center circle, wearing the rec specs. Lining it up for the opening tip will be Sinsenshin and Smith. The tip is controlled by the Stormers, and we are underway in this District B championship game. Cyrus Little, far side of the floor, right in front of Coach John Pagatti of the South Suburban Bulldogs. Short pass, making a move into the lane. Little hook shot up and good, and the Stormers are on the board first. It is Owen Smith who gets the first bucket of the basketball game, and the Stormers have a 2-0 lead before 1 minute is gone in this championship contest. Right side, that's Mickens. Bounce pass over to the left side, and you see how fast the Bulldogs move the ball. 3-point try, up and good for Torian Mickens. And he gets off to a fast start in this contest, hitting 35.9% of his three-point shots on the season. Of course, if you know anything about Stormers basketball, they do like to run the floor, but running a little bit too fast down the floor is Cyrus Little. He steps on the inline, out of bounds. Turnover, Milwaukee Tech, Bulldogs basketball. Stormers were up 2-0. Bulldogs answered back with a 3. It's 3-2. Just underway here in Rockford, Illinois. Far side of the floor, Sinsenshin working on the dribble, couple moves in the lane, nice move to the basket, and Sinsenshin gets his first bucket of the ball game. We'll get a whistle and a foul as the Stormers in transition try to make their way up the court. It is Cyrus Little who goes to the ground. He is fouled by A.J. Abrams, first foul of the game for either team, in addition to the first personal foul for the freshman out of Blue Island, Illinois. Stormers basketball down 5-2. 2 possessions thus far for the Bulldogs, 2 buckets. Stormers want to tighten up the D a little bit, but can't do anything about the D when you're on O. Although that's another turnover for the Stormers. Horde travels with the basketball, and it will be South Suburban ball. Fast start for the Bulldogs in this contest. They've got a 3-point lead, and they'll look to expand on it as they are wearing the white with the navy blue numbers. Some silver trim for the Bulldogs, moving from left to right on whatever screen you may be viewing this broadcast upon. Pull-up jumper just inside the 3-point line. No good. Scrap for the rebound. It's claimed by the Stormers and Matthew Horde. He brings it up himself, makes a move in the lane. Off glass. No good. Offensive rebound for the Stormers and Foxwell. Outside, Foxwell thought about three. Bumped as he makes his way to the elbow. Sends it back outside. Couple dribbles down the left side of the lane. Off the underside of the basket. They'll say it was off South Suburban, and it will be Stormers' ball. Interesting call there. A lot of contact, no foul. Looked like the ball just went off the underside of the basket. Didn't see it hit off of anybody from South Suburban, but Milwaukee Tech fortunate to still have possession. 4 on the shot clock. Stormers have to shoot. It's up, and it's good for Cyrus Little. The sophomore out of East Moline, Illinois, makes it 5-all with 17 minutes and 54 seconds remaining in this first half. Far side of the floor, Tyler Wooten. Send it into the corner, step back 3-pointer. Off the back rim, no good for Mickens. Rebound comes down to the Stormers. Little quickly up the floor. Into the corner, 3-point try for Valentine. And it's Valentine's Day in Rockford. Stormers go up 3, 8-5. 2.5 minutes gone, and the Stormers have the lead back in what we expect to be a hotly contested contest here at Rock Valley College tonight. Driving the lane, off glass, and good, and the foul for A.J. Abrams. Great move for Abrams. He gets the bucket. The call will go against the Stormers. And Owen Smith, first foul of the game for him, first foul against Milwaukee Tech. Opportunity for the 3-point play here for A.J. Abrams. Not a great free throw shooter, though. He comes in 61.5% on the season for John Pagatti and the Bulldogs. Around the rim and good. Maybe even helped a little bit by Antonio Foxwell, who grabbed a part of the rim. We're back to tied at 8 with just under 3 minutes gone here in this contest. Little to the far side of the floor and Valentine. Back to the top of the key and Little. You can already hear both coaches, Randy Casey and John Pagatti, making it clear what they want from their respective teams. 5 on the shot clock. This is not the style that the Stormers necessarily want to play, but they will take the 2 points as Matthew Horde goes off glass, falling away. And the Stormers retake the lead, 10-8. Stormers wearing the black uniforms tonight with those checker stripes down each side. 3-point try up for South Suburban, and that is good. Samar Burris gets on the board for the first time in this contest. 4 Bulldogs already have points in this game. Same thing for the Stormers. And the Bulldogs bounce right back. They retake the lead 11-10. Ties and lead changes will be a thing in this contest, folks, as it was in the first game. Foxwell gives it back to Little. Little, left side of the lane, left-handed scooping layup. Off the front rim, no. Rebound comes down to Kubas Ascension. Quickly back up the floor, the Bulldogs. Pull-up jumper from 15 off the front rim, no good. Rebound comes down to Foxwell and the Stormers. Horde will bring it forward for Milwaukee Tech. Gets a screen, holds on, thinks about the step back 3, instead gives it up to Valentine, who will take the 3 and hits. Julian Valentine, his second 3-pointer of the ball game. And that'll take us to our first timeout of the contest. It is taken by South Suburban. 15:46 remaining in the first half, and the Stormers continue to surprise. They're up 13-11. This is Stormers basketball. shooting early for the Milwaukee Tech Stormers. It's Julian Valentine, who's already hit a pair of threes. He was 2 of 7 in the first meeting between these two teams. The outside shooting in the first matchup between these two teams was not necessarily the greatest on either side of the floor. The Stormers have come out hot early, though. They have a 13-11 lead with 15:46 remaining in this first half of play. Randy Casey, the jacket's already gone. That did not last long in this contest. Saw Nathan Stevens, the Milwaukee Tech basketball statistician, come here to join us tonight. He's sitting in the stands, and I have the opportunity quite a bit at Milwaukee Tech. Didn't this year. Don Wadowitz, the normal public address announcer, but Nathan Stevens, as that's a shot that is knocked out of bounds. It'll be a blocked shot for the Stormers, but possession will stay with the South Suburban Bulldogs. Nathan Stevens worked with Nathan quite a bit with a few different teams. We've even borrowed Nathan over at Marquette University, where I do quite a bit of work, and he's done some stats for some of their basketball games. Pass off the inbound, goes off the foot of Sinsentian, out of bounds. Stormers basketball. Chance for the Stormers to expand on their 2-point lead with 15:32 remaining in the first half. But it is always something we talk about at the scorers table at the Ryman Gymnasium, where the Stormers play their home games. Alverno College, nice backdoor cut, and it's there for Matthew Horde. Stormers up 4, 15-11. Yeah, we are always trying to figure out exactly when the jacket will come off for Coach Casey, and it was quite early into this contest tonight that Randy Casey decided to go to just the shirt and tie. Understandable. Warmer than expected night here in Rockford as well. But I don't think it's the heat outside that caused Randy to take the jacket off. I think it's the heat of the competition going on here. 3 seconds on the shot clock while we're talking about the weather in Rockford. Flailing three-pointer off the back rim and no good for Tanner Fields. Ball goes out of bounds off the Stormers, though, and that'll be a fresh 20 for the Bulldogs, as they will get the basketball back. Randy can't be happy about that one, as the Bulldogs get new life on this possession. Ball is tipped off the high arcing inbound pass out of the hands of Sinsentian. Alley-oop! Tipped away, no. Bulldogs get it back. Quickly up the floor in the other direction. Abrams to the basket. Nice move. Layup is up and good. A.J. Abrams now has 5 in the basketball game, and it's 15-13. Back and forth, up and down. Two teams that really like to play with tempo. You saw it on that last sequence. Cyrus Little gives it up. Foxwell, you know he can shoot it from anywhere on the floor, but he's also unafraid to go to the dribble in the corner. Three-pointer for Horde off the front rim, no good. Rebound once again comes down to the Bulldogs. Quickly up the floor, Burris trying to work around Valentine, can't find anything. Triple team, sends it back outside. A.J. Abrams, nifty ball fake, three-pointer off the front rim, and no for Tanner Fields. Rebound comes down to the Stormers. Foxwell will bring it up the floor. Foxwell one-on-one in the lane, sends it back outside, too far beyond Julian Valentine. Out of bounds into the Bulldogs bench. And it will be South Suburban basketball. Into the basketball game for South Suburban. Torian Mickens returns. New face also for Milwaukee Tech, that is Dane Daling. He is a sophomore out of here in Rockford, Illinois. Went to Harlem High School. Bit of a homecoming for Daling, who's averaging 4.3 points per game, as well as 13.1 minutes per contest. Down 2 right now. Bulldogs with the basketball, driving the lane and kicking it out just inside the arc. Abrams thought about it. Instead of free throw line jumper off the front rim, well short for Tyler Wooten. He gets the rebound back, though. Back outside, open for 3 is Burris. Off the front rim, no. Another offensive board, and Abrams is right there to finish. Well, that's not going to make Randy Casey happy. 15 all. Too easy of a rebound there for the Bulldogs. Turnaround jumper in the lane, well contested, no good. Sinsentian both with the defense and the board. Quickly into the lane, contact, and we will get a foul against Milwaukee Tech. That might go against Daling. Fresh into the ball game, it would be his first of the contest. Indeed, Dane Daling is hit with the offense. Second team foul against the Stormers. 13:07 remaining in this first half. We are level at 15. Rock Valley College, gracious hosts for many, many years for this Region 4 championship. Outstanding facility here at the Physical Education Center. You see the stands lining 3 sides of the court. More than enough room for as many fans as they want to put in here for these championships. Driving the lane, nice move. That is Burris. And the Bulldogs go back up 17-15 on the strength of that layup by Burris. He had 22 in the first meeting between these two teams. He now has 5 in this contest. Abrams leads the Bulldogs with 7. Top of the arc, Cyrus Little. He'll send it over to the far side with the skip pass. Sending it back is Daling. Driving the lane, a lot of contact, and we will get a whistle and a foul. That will go against the Bulldogs. Putting his hands up is A.J. Abrams. It would be the second on him if they call it on him. Unfortunately, they will not, at least unfortunately for the Stormers. It goes against Torian Mickens. His first personal foul, 2 fouls now on both teams. Stormers will inbound from the baseline. Down 2. Pass, tipped up in the air, taken away by South Suburban. Nothing but basket in front of Tyler Wooten. He gets the bucket to go. Timeout, Milwaukee Tech, as they find themselves down 4, 19-15 after the turnover and layup for the Bulldogs with 12:31 remaining in the first half. This is Stormers basketball. Randy Casey has talked things over with his troops. They find themselves down 4, biggest lead of the game thus far for the South Suburban Bulldogs. In this Region 4, Division 2, Section B, and a partridge in a pear tree championship matchup. Enough designations for you, I know, but Division 2, much the way, if you're familiar with NCAA basketball, they have Division 1, 2, and 3. It is very similar at the NJCAA level. Milwaukee Tech, actually, about a decade ago, made its way up from Division 3 to Division 2. Higher level of play, driving the basket, no good for Cyrus Little. Another rebound comes to the Bulldogs, and the rebounding advantage has been in favor of the Bulldogs over the course of the last few minutes of the basketball game. Too many second opportunities for the Bulldogs, and there they get a defensive board, as they will try and expand on their 4-point lead. Region 4, the geography piece. A lot of contact. That'll be a foul against the Stormers. I believe that is 11-on-11 crime, as Cyrus Little, the sophomore out of East Moline, Illinois, will get hit with his first foul. And that will put number 11 for the Bulldogs, Kuba Sinsenshin, at the line for them. And that will take us to a media timeout. We do have media timeouts tonight in this contest. We'll have those every 4 minutes. We did not necessarily have a media timeout. It became a media timeout, the first timeout for the Bulldogs when they took their first timeout of the game, since it was after the 16-minute mark. Now we have a timeout that is a regular media timeout at 11:58 in the first half. Bulldogs up 4, 19-15, with the chance to expand on that at the line after this. This is Stormers basketball. We get back to the action with free throws for the South Suburban Bulldogs, who are up on the Milwaukee Tech Stormers right now, 19-15, with 11:58 left in the first half. Good to have you with us on the MATC YouTube channel. Dan Pfeiffer with you from Rockford, Illinois. Good to be back working with Stormers basketball, as the first free throw is no good for Kuba Sinsenshin. Had the chance to work with Milwaukee Tech basketball. It's the second free throw falls for Sincension for upwards of 15 years now. Maybe even longer than that. Goes back to the 2000s decade. Kind of lost track, but didn't have a chance to spend as much time around the Stormers this year due to other scheduling pieces and the fact that Don Wadowitz was able to do so much of the PA this year, but good to be with you from Rockford tonight. As we'll get a whistle, and they will call the foul. No basket, obviously, for Owen Smith on the far side of the floor. That'll be a foul against South Suburban. It'll go against Tyler Wooten. His first of the game. 3 different Bulldogs have a single foul in the contest now. Possession to the Stormers. Fresh 20 on the shot clock with 11:39 remaining in the first half, and the Stormers down 5. They're going to say that went off of MATC. Goes off of Tyler Horde. Another turnover for the Stormers, and that has been part of the issue thus far as well, with the Stormers finding themselves down 5. Julian Valentine comes back in. He replaces Dane Daling. South Suburban brings the ball up quickly. Stormers settle into a half-court man. Ball tipped out of bounds. Credit the deflection to Horde. However, it will be Bulldogs basketball. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And that has been the mantra in the postseason for this Milwaukee Tech Stormers team, and they've played loose in the playoffs as well. This is going to be a foul against South Suburban. I think they're going to call that against Sincension on the rebound. Indeed, they do hit Kuba Sincension with his first foul of the game. He will come out of the basketball game. He is replaced by Papa Endy. He is a sophomore for the Bulldogs out of France. He's played in 32 games this season. However, he's only started in 2. The Frenchman, Endy. Wide open at the block. Nice pass. Move around the basket and out. Oh, it just wasn't there for Matthew Horde. Lid on the basket right now for the Stormers. They've had a few empty possessions here as the Bulldogs come back down the floor. Tough shot, no good for Burris. No foul call. Stormers do get the rebound, pushing it up the floor. Antonio Foxwell, he'll pull up just inside the arc, off the back rim, no good. Board is taken by Burris, and he will come back the other direction for South Suburban. Nice jab step dribble at the free throw line. No good. But we're going to have a foul called against Milwaukee Tech. And that will go against Owen Smith, if I am not mistaken. Second personal for him. 2 free throws for the Bulldogs. A.J. Abrams heads to the line. First one is good. Abrams now has 8 in the basketball game. We do see Smith come off the floor. He is replaced by Noah Daniels, and we'll talk a little bit about Noah and his story as he comes into the basketball game. Second free throw to come for A.J. Abrams. That one is also good, and it is now a 7-point lead for the Bulldogs, 22-15. Antonio Foxwell brings it up the right side of the floor and hands it off to Daniels. Noah Daniels and I actually go back quite a ways. Noah played his high school ball at New Berlin West, home of the Vikings. That is up, and that is good for Matthew Horde. Counted and the foul. It'll get called against Abrams. That's 2 on him, as now South Suburban deals with a little bit of foul trouble. But it'll be an and 1 for the Stormers as we see Horde step to the free throw line. Abrams comes off the floor. He's replaced by DJ Moss. Moss, a sophomore out of Gary, Indiana. Horde at the line, but Daniels played at New Berlin West, where I have done their public address announcing since 2019. Not only that, day job-wise, I worked with Noah Daniels' mother way back in the day in the 2000s decade at Quad Graphics in Milwaukee. And the free throw is good, by the way, for Horde. 22-18 is your score, so I have known of the Noah Daniels story for quite a while. Noah Daniels, after he got done at New Berlin West, suffered a leg injury, had to sit out a year while they reconstructed his knee. Had a chance actually to talk with his mother, Michelle, before the game. Bit of a reuniting, if you will. Three-pointer is up and good for Torian Mickens. He now has 6 in the ball game. It's 25-18 in favor of the Bulldogs. Travel call against Daniels and the Stormers, but after Daniels did get hurt, he spent a year in Florida rehabbing at a preparatory school and came back to Milwaukee and has had the opportunity to play for Coach Casey here in this 2024-25 season. Did not play in the first matchup between the Stormers and the Bulldogs, but is out there right now, and that's a turnover for the Bulldogs as Samar Burris can't find a teammate with a pass. Goes out of bounds. Noah Daniels is the one who signals. Stormers basketball. We will have a timeout taken. I think the indication is that is a 30 taken by South Suburban. Interesting that South Suburban takes that timeout. That means that's 2 timeouts they have taken in this first half. And remember, when you have media timeouts, each team only gets 4 timeouts in the basketball game, not the usual 6 that these teams may be used to, because a lot of the time they don't play with media timeouts. So South Suburban now only has 2 timeouts remaining the rest of the game, 9:44 remaining in the first, and it's the Bulldogs up on the Stormers 25-18. This is Stormers basketball. Just a quick 30-second timeout for the Bulldogs. That's all they need right now with this lead. They are up on the Milwaukee Tech Stormers 25-18. Had a chance to talk with Travis Mrozik, the assistant coach for the Milwaukee Tech Stormers, prior to tonight's game. And again, talking about the feeling, the attitude of the team coming into this contest, as that's a three-pointer no good, but the rebound is up and good. That's Noah Daniels getting on the board for the Stormers. 25-20 your score after the Daniels follow-up. He used the words house money when it comes to what the mindset is for the Stormers in this one. Offensive rebound for the Bulldogs after the missed 3 for Papa Indy. He's the one that gets the board. Over to the near side, DJ Moss trying to break down Matthew Horde. In the corner, no good for Mickens. Another offensive board for South Suburban. My goodness. We do not get stat sheets here, so we do not know exactly what the rebounding totals are, but South Suburban, the 5-point difference right now has a lot to do with the fact that they are getting rebound after rebound. That is a foul against Noah Daniels for the Stormers, his first of the contest. New face in for the Bulldogs, James Morgan. He replaces Indy. 5 fouls against both teams now. Inbound pass comes over the top to Burris. They'll hand it back to Morgan, fresh into the basketball game. A little bit of a weave look now for the Bulldogs. Couple of moves in the lane, nothing there. Outside, three-pointer, off the back rim, no good. Daniels tips it up in the air. Again, the Bulldogs get the board. Three-pointer this time for Moss, off the front rim, no. Another offensive rebound for South Suburban. Pull-up jumper just inside the arc, and you give a team like South Suburban enough chances, they will eventually get 2. That's Torian Mickens, 27-20. Too many second opportunities for the Bulldogs right now. That's just wanting it more, and that's something Randy Casey will talk about with his charges in the locker room at halftime. If not during the next media timeout, which is coming up shortly. Not yet, though, as the clock stops with 8:01 after a foul against South Suburban. We'll see Cyrus Little head to the free throw line for 2. So they'll call that one against number 30, James Morgan of the Bulldogs, his first of the contest. He is a sophomore out of East Chicago, Indiana. Not in Illinois, East Chicago. It is in Indiana. There's also DJ Moss, who's out there. He's from Gary, Indiana. Of course, right across the border. First of 2 is up and good for Cyrus Little. He now has 4 in the basketball game. He is a 72.73 throw shooter on the season. Second one is also good for Little. Horde leads the way for the Stormers with 7. Little has 5. Julian Valentine has 6 on the strength of 2 3-point baskets. But it is still the Bulldogs with the 5-point lead, 27-22, with just under 8 minutes remaining in the contest. Next stoppage will bring us to immediate timeout. Right side of the floor, Burris fakes left, goes right, heads to the basket. That's a nice move, and Burris has got himself 2 more. He now has 7 in the contest, and the lead is back up to 7 for the Bulldogs, 29-22. Driving the right side of the lane, Foxwell, he gets the layup to go. First points of the game for Antonio Foxwell. He averages 13.1 per contest. The only Stormer to have started in every game this season. Cuts the lead back to 5, which is kind of where it's been hanging for a while. Tipped by Daniels. He'll get on the floor. Fight for the basketball. It's pulled away by the Bulldogs, though. Morgan, left side, three-pointer from the corner. Off the back rim, no good for Mickens. Correction, that was Burris taking that 3. Driving the right side of the lane. Horde, a lot of contact. Horde goes into the basket standard. That is a hard foul on the part of the Bulldogs. believe that was called against DJ Moss, and we may take pause here as that was a hard contact against the padding of the basket. And, you know, they put padding on these basket standards, but it doesn't help all that much when you take a hit that big. And just big contact between Horde and the basket. And there's some discussion right now between the officials. And to be honest with you, as hard as that foul is, and we are into the media timeout, but we don't necessarily need to take a pause here. We'll continue talking about what we see on the floor right now. Good to see Matthew Horde helped up to his feet. Again, hit hard on that shoulder against the padding, but when there's that much contact, I'll tell you, at the Division I NCAA level, you would probably see that foul go to replay, and they might review that for some form of a flagrant. Unfortunately, here at this level, it is all up to the decision-making of the officials. We do not have replay for this contest, so while they're talking it over, it does not look like they're making any move towards the table or want to make any indication of some sort of a flagrant call. Instead, Horde, he'll give it a good hard rub, and he'll come back out there. He'll head to the free throw line and shoot two after this media timeout concludes. We will take a brief pause. It is the Bulldogs up on the Stormers by 5, 29-24, 7 minutes remaining in the first. This is Stormers basketball. As hard as Matthew Horde went to the floor on that last drive to the basket, looks like he's okay, shaking out the arms as he stands at the top of the arc. Around him, 2 teammates and 4 opponents head to the edges of the free throw lane as Horde will have the opportunity to shoot free throws. He leads the Stormers right now in scoring with 7 points, although the Stormers are down right now to the Bulldogs 29-24. Make it 29-25, though, after Horde gets the first of 2 charity stripe tosses following the hard foul to the left of the basket. Horde takes 2 hard dribbles, puts it up. Off the front rim, no. Rebound comes down to South Suburban and Torian Mickens. The lead remains at 4. Stormers are now in the bonus for the remainder of the first half. That was the 7th team foul against South Suburban. Into the lane, nice kick outside, jumper inside the arc, short, another offensive rebound for the Bulldogs. Again in the lane, finally the Stormers get a rebound, Noah Daniels. It will be fascinating to look at the rebounding totals when we get the stat printout at halftime. Far side of the floor, Cyrus Little. Hopefully we will get a stat printout, can't say we're guaranteed for that. His layup goes off the underside of the rim. Little just kind of short-armed that one. Got to make your bunnies, and they might pay. Indeed, the Stormers do. 3-pointer good for Tanner Fields. His first points of the ball game. The lead is back to 7 for the Bulldogs. 3-pointer at the other end, off the back rim, and no good for Julian Valentine. Bulldogs looking to maybe get their biggest lead of the game thus far. Pull-up jumper just inside the arc, off the back rim, no good. Rebound comes to the Stormers. Right place, right time, Antonio Foxwell. He'll bring it up the floor. Got to watch out from behind, into the corner. Daniels for 3. Well short, didn't catch any part of the cylinder. Rebound pulled down by Burris. Valentine is right there, forces him to take a dribble behind his back. Burris is unaffected. He'll bring it up the floor, hands it off to Fields. Over to the far side of the floor, Mickens back to Fields at the free throw line, driving the lane, tough jumper off the rim, no good. Rebound comes to Valentine and the Stormers. We'll take it up the left side of the floor, and the Stormers will reset. Stormers haven't been able to get out and transition as much as I know they like to. Driving the lane, layup up and good for Matthew Horde. He is the first player in the basketball game into double digits. And the lead is back to 5, 32-27. This is where things have kind of just been hanging, waiting for one team to really capture the momentum. The lead is held at 5 to 7 points, really for the last 5 minutes of the basketball game. Burris near side of the floor, top of the key, swinging the ball, Tyler Wooten. Tough jumper around the rim, no good. It is tipped over to Antonio Foxwell. Might officially give the rebound to Horde. Stormers trying to further cut into this Bulldogs lead. Far side of the floor, Cyrus Little well beyond the arc. Pass over to the near side, not looking for it was Antonio Foxwell. Miscommunication. Randy Casey, kind of a disgusted look on his face, and you can see John Pagatti over on the other sideline. He subs Tyler Wooten out, and we mentioned before the game, John Pagatti may look like the kind of guy that you'll see at senior home, but I'll tell you what, he's got the energy of a 15-year-old, jumping up and down, not happy with his team, the way his team defended on that last possession. I'll tell you what, too, it's a good thing we don't have a microphone on the floor, at least if history tells us anything. John Pagatti, if we would catch any of him on the broadcast, we'd have to rate this thing PG-13 at least. Jumper rattles around off the front rim. No. One offensive board, two offensive boards. Yet another offensive board for the Bulldogs. Again around the rim. No. Tipped up. Finally controlled by the Stormers and Noah Daniels. Near side. A lot of contact. No foul call against Burris. Some chaos in transition. The Stormers don't mind that because they like to get up the floor quickly. 32-27. Right side of the lane. Horde. He gets fouled. He'll go to the line for two. Torian Mickens gets called for that foul. That's his second. And that brings us to our final media timeout of the first half. Free throws for the Stormers when we return. Milwaukee Tech down 5 to South Suburban in this Region 4 Division II District B championship game, 32-27. This is Stormers basketball. DJ playing the thumpin' dance music here at the Physical Education Center, the PEC they call it, on the campus of Rock Valley College. The PEC at RVC, LOL. Stormers come out onto the floor, PDQ. And we will have two free throws for the Stormers, as it will be Matthew Horde at the line. Dan Pfeiffer flying solo with you tonight. You may be seeing why it's a good idea to have a color commentator with me to keep me on track every once in a while. Unfortunately, weren't able to find one. I think I've driven off everyone who wants to work with me. I don't know. First free throw, no good for Matthew Horde. That'll keep the score at 32-27 with 3:41 remaining in this first half. Horde, a 73.6% free throw shooter. He does get the second one to go. He does lead all scorers in this basketball game with 11, and the lead is down to 4. 32-28. Stormers looking for stops, and not just stops, but rebounds. Bulldogs have had a decisive advantage in the rebounding category thus far in this contest. Hard work in the post, but Kuba Sinsenshin, the sophomore out of Carpentersville, Illinois, gets the bucket to go. He now has 5 in the contest. Only had 2 points in the first meeting between these two teams. 3-point try off the front rim, and no. Rebound once again comes down to South Suburban. Some of it is just being in the right place at the right time, but South Suburban also working hard on those boards too. 3-pointer, good. Torian Mickens, he now has 11 in the contest, and the lead is up to 9 for South Suburban. 37-28, just like that. Underneath, nice move to the basket. Cyrus Little, he gets it to go. And that lead is back to that 7-point margin. It has been a lot of the final 10 minutes of this half. Since the 10-minute mark, we should say, with 2:30 left in this first half, 37-30. Spin move to the basket, blocked from behind. Comes down to Antonio Foxwell. Stormers quickly up the floor, into the corner. Three-pointer for Valentine. It's good! Julian Valentine from long distance. And the lead is back to 4 for the Bulldogs, 37-33. Stormers bench getting into it. After the three by Valentine, his third of the contest. No Stormers player had more than 2 3-pointers in the first meeting between these two teams. Valentine has 3 in the first half. A lot of contact. Sinsentian tries to force the shot. It's no good. Stormers get the rebound. The lead briefly got to 9 for the Bulldogs. But the Stormers have cut it back to 4, and they can cut it into it even more here if they can get a bucket. We've looked for the Stormers all alone in the corner. Foxwell thought about 3, but they're going to get him for the travel. He moved his pivot foot. That is a tough one. Randy Casey not happy with the call. Didn't think there was anything more than just the catch of the pass. And Foxwell taking off with the basketball. Another turnover for the Stormers. They've maybe had a few more of those than they've wanted here in this first half, 37-33. Sinsentian, pass tipped. Comes to Mickens, though. We'll get a whistle and a foul. That'll go against the Stormers. They'll get called against Cyrus Little. Second personal for him. 6th team foul on Milwaukee Tech, so the Bulldogs not yet shooting. Sideline inbounds play. Hold on. Oh, clock did not start initially. Horn sounded, but the clock did not start. Maybe that was a distraction there as A.J. Abrams went to the basket. He is the second Bulldogs player into double digits. Both he and Torian Mickens have 11. And the lead is back to 6 for South Suburban, 39-33. Under a minute left. Nice pass by Daniels. He finds Little under the basket, and Little comes up big. Makes it 39-35. Burris. Well outside the arc, South Suburban. Not looking for 2 for 1 here, at least from what it looks like. Driving the lane. Tough pull-up. A.J. Abrams, he gets it to go. Saw John Pagatti over on the other side. He was encouraging Abrams to take that shot sooner to try and make it a 2 for 1 situation. Abrams didn't get the message, but he did get the bucket. Now the Stormers will play for 1 shot here at the end of the half. 10 seconds remaining. Back to the top of the key. Foxwell, long 3, off glass, off rim, no good. It comes down to South Suburban. Burris, 2 on the clock, 1 pass underneath. Little dipsy-do layup, no good, and we are headed to halftime with the Bulldogs up on the Stormers, 41-35. Stormers hang in the first half as the Bulldogs got the lead as high as 9. But the Stormers struggling to get rebounds in this contest thus far, and at times not doing the job that they want to of just holding on to the basketball. And the Bulldogs, led by A.J. Abrams, who had 30 points in the first meeting and 13 thus far tonight, and Torian Mickens, who has 11 points already in this contest, go into recess with a 6-point lead. We will take a break. We will try and come back with some halftime statistics if they come to us, and we'll talk about some keys to the second half as the Milwaukee Tech Stormers will do their darndest to try and make their way to Danville, Illinois, and be Division II Region 4 District B champions. But they've got to make up 6 points in the second half on the South Suburban Bulldogs if they want to do exactly that. 41-35, we are at the half in this NJCAA Division II Region 4 District B championship game. This is Stormers basketball. getting so many offensive rebounds. That tends to go that way. Milwaukee Tech with 14 points off turnovers. South Suburban has 10. Milwaukee Tech has 4 second chance points. Surprisingly, South Suburban only has 4 second chance points in the basketball game versus the 5 that Milwaukee Tech has. But again, so many repeated opportunities with the basketball. It's just kind of crazy right now how many offensive rebounds South Suburban College has. Fast break points, South Suburban has 4. Milwaukee Tech does not have any. And depth, a bit of an issue right now for Milwaukee Tech. They've got a couple injuries. Maiwa Akinsapa not here tonight, for instance. He is out with a leg injury. He would be helpful for them, 6'5" sophomore swingman out of Peoria, Arizona. So Milwaukee Tech really only going 7 deep. Points off the bench, only 2 for Milwaukee Tech. 1 bucket for Noah Daniels on 2 shots. That's it. South Suburban, meanwhile, only with 3 points off the bench, but they are able to go a little deeper. They've used a 9-man rotation through one half of basketball thus far. We'll just reiterate one more time. Rebounds, turnovers. Rebound the basketball, don't turn over the basketball. Milwaukee Tech does those 2 things in the second half. They can get themselves right back into this contest. They got out to a quick start in this one. Hit a couple shots early, got some confidence. South Suburban fought back, though. You kind of had to keep them from chipping away. We saw them get that lead all the way up to 9, but then the Stormers, give them credit. Got it back down to 5. It's at 6 right now. You got to keep on doing that. Keep on chipping away the other direction. It doesn't have to happen all at once. Yes, you can go on a run, and if you take that, get that momentum, sure, run with it. But it's about playing consistent basketball and just doing the little things well, and the Stormers will try and do that in the second half. We will take one more break. When we come back, we will have the final 20 minutes of regulation in this Division II, Region 4, District B championship contest for the right to go to Danville, Illinois, and the Division II NJCAA National Championship Tournament. It's the Stormers currently down 6 to the South Suburban Bulldogs, 41-35. Second half action coming up. This is Stormers basketball. Quite the wide variety on the playlist here at Rock Valley College. We're getting a little bit of 80s hair metal right now. We had some Beach Boys during halftime. We've had some dance music. Kind of all over the board here. I don't mind, though. Do some different things for the NJCAA Region 4, Division 2, District B championship game. We will get back to the action with the South Suburban Bulldogs having the first possession of the second half. And they will get the ball up 6, 41-35. Reset the fouls. Cyrus Little and Owen Smith have 2 for the Stormers. Torian Mickens and A.J. Abrams, top 2 scorers for the Bulldogs, also have 2 fouls. Inbound pass is made to Samar Burris, guard out of Madison, Illinois. And he will get things started with the basketball for the Bulldogs here in the second half. Far side of the floor, Burris takes it back from A.J. Abrams, who leads the way in terms of points scored in this contest right now with 13. Turnaround move off the front rim, no good for Sinsentian. And we will get a foul against Sinsentian after the rebound comes down to Cyrus Little. Second foul of the contest against him. First foul against either team in the second half. Kuba Sinsentian, sophomore out of Carpentersville, Illinois. Averaging a little over 20 minutes per contest, along with 7.3 points per game. Right now he's got 5. 2 fouls in the game. First possession of the second half for the Stormers. Left at the top of the arc, Valentine sends it over to the right side, Antonio Foxwell. Foxwell, the only Stormer who has started every game this season. Ball on the ground, calling for a timeout. And indeed, the Stormers do get a timeout. Looking for a teammate to help him up. No one comes over. Ends up getting help from A.J. Abrams of the Bulldogs. But it will be Stormers' possession. Timeout with 19:17 remaining in the second half. First call timeout by either team in the second half becomes a media timeout, so we will take pause. This is Stormers basketball. So something to track here in the second half. We thought that the third called timeout in the first half was taken by South Suburban. Right now the scoreboard is showing Milwaukee Tech is having taken 3 timeouts and having just 1 left. So if the scoreboard is correct, the Stormers are down to just 1 timeout remaining. I thought that last timeout in the first half that was called by either team was taken by South Suburban. So we'll see exactly what the case is as this goes on. Unfortunately, we don't have the means. We are high above the end opposite the scorer's table, so we don't have the means to go down and ask anyone about that. But right now, the Stormers are showing as having just 1 timeout remaining in this basketball game. Down 6, 41-35, but make it down 4 after the drive to the basket and the layup by Cyrus Little. He's now in double digits with 11. And the lead is cut to 4, 41-37. 1 minute gone here in the second half. Swinging the basketball for A.J. Abrams. He'll dish it back to Burris, who thinks about taking the 3, then gives it back to Abrams. He'll drive the baseline. Tough shot. It falls, and the foul. Wow, what a move by A.J. Abrams. And he'll go to the free throw line for 1 more. After Owen Smith gets whistled for the offense for the Stormers, that's his 3rd foul of the basketball game. Bulldogs will sacrifice the rebound if A.J. Abrams cannot make this free throw, but he does. Abrams now has 16 points in the basketball game. Remember, he had 30 in the first meeting between these two teams. A 4-point victory for the Bulldogs on January 28th. And the lead is back up to that 7-point mark that we have seen it be quite a bit in this contest. And that's another empty possession for the Stormers. Bulldogs come away with the basketball 44-37, and they can make that lead the 9 points that it was much of the contest. But this will be an offensive foul. And it will go against Sinsentian. Moving screen 50 feet from the basket. And John Pagatti is going to give Sinsentian a piece of his mind as he comes to the bench. He is replaced by Papa Endy, the Frenchman for the Bulldogs. Understandably, Sinsentian walks around the far end of the bench and tries to get as far away from Pagatti as possible. I would probably do the same thing. That is not a good foul and turnover for the Bulldogs. Driving the lane, kicking it back outside. 3-point try. Horde, no. Pulls it back. Over to the near side of the floor. Tough move. Get it to go. Owen Smith. Foul is called against the Bulldogs. It'll go against Samar Burris, his first foul of the basketball game, but Owen Smith gets the tough shot to go. How did he get that one to fall? So much contact. Smith unaffected. And he'll try and make it 3 if he can hit this free throw. 44-39. Make it 44-40. Smith just a 60% free throw shooter on the year, but he gets that one to go. Stormers now down 4 again. This was the difference in the first meeting between these two teams. Pass along the baseline, now back outside. Good ball rotation. The 3 is good for Torian Mickens. Abrams and Mickens, they have combined for 30 of the 47 points put up by the Bulldogs, and the lead is back to 7, 47-40. Jumper no good for Foxwell. Bulldogs come down with the board. Into the corner, 3-point try for Mickens, and it's good. Biggest lead of the ball game for the Bulldogs. It's now 10, 50-40. Stormers need an answer here. Far side of the floor, Julian Valentine looks into the post. Smith to the far side of the floor, Foxwell. Swings the ball, sends it back outside Horde. Horde makes a move, spin move to the basket. No good, but he's fouled on the way. He'll get 2. That'll be the 4th foul already against South Suburban in this half. It's called against Mickens. He's now got 3 in the game. Sincentian also on the bench right now with 3 for South Suburban. Horde at the line for the Stormers. One of 2 Stormers right now with 11 points. Horde just under 74% at the line on the season coming into this contest. First free throw is good. Matthew Horde, also from here in Rockford, Illinois. We mentioned that Dane Daling is from Harlem High School. Matthew Horde is from Rockford East. Second free throw also good from Horde. 13-11. Correction, 50-42. 3 minutes now gone here in the second half. 13 for Horde, 11 for Little. Speaking of Little, he heads to the basket. Tough shot, no good. He's fouled on the way up. He'll get 2. At the end of the play, Valentine tried to finish with a bucket, but that was after the foul was called. John Pagatti absolutely livid with his team right now. Foul goes against 10 for South Suburban. Samar Burris. Second personal, 15 foul. 2 free throws to come for the Stormers. Cyrus Little. First free throw for Little is good. 50-43 your score after Little makes the first. Little had 17 points in the first contest between these two teams. Was 9 of 10 from the free throw line, and he's looking good from the line again tonight. Lead is back to 6, 50-44. It's a game of runs. Bulldogs got it up to 10. Stormers have now scored 4 in a row. Ball is tipped. Still controlled by the Bulldogs, though. Over to the near side of the floor, Mickens. Back to the far side, Burris. Trying to break down Valentine. Sends it up to the top of the key. Far side, 4 on the shot clock. Knocked about. Mickens. They're not going to say the shot got off. Shot clock violation. Stormers basketball. It did go in. But the far side official said the shot did not get off in time. He's the one that's got the best view of both the shot clock and the shooter. And he's the one that made the call. 3-pointer, Valentine off the back rim. No, an offensive rebound for the Stormers. Didn't see enough of that in the first half. Now they finally get one. Valentine again. This one is good. All it took was a little bit and an offensive rebound, and the Stormers have the momentum back. It's now 50-47. Pass almost knocked away from Abrams. He drives the lane. Fouled on the way up. He will get 2. We will have immediate timeout. Randy Casey thinks there should have been a travel. as does the Stormers' brain trust. We will have free throws after this media timeout, and Randy Casey is looking for an explanation from Ciola Clark III as to why there was no travel call. Clark walking over towards the Stormers bench and getting an explanation now from the Stormers assistants as to what they thought the call should have been. Nonetheless, we will have free throws for the Bulldogs when we come back. They are up 50-47 with 15:55 remaining in the second half. This is Stormers basketball. Little safety dance action here. Men without hats. It's a warm enough night. You can go without a hat. You can be a men without hat tonight. Or a man without hat. Or a woman without hat. Or whatever you want to be without a hat. It is 50-47 as I try to change the subject. Make it still 50-47 after the first free throw is no good for A.J. Abrams with 15:55 remaining in this second half. And South Suburban up on Milwaukee Tech. The foul was called on Julian Valentine. At least we believe it was. First foul of the game for him. Second free throw is good for Abrams. He joins Torian Mickens with 17 points in the contest, and the lead is 4 now for the Bulldogs, 51-47. Right side of the floor, Antonio Foxwell. Double team. Shot pulled out of his hands from behind. It does come down to the Stormers. Ball rolls along the rim, no good for Cyrus Little. Bulldogs in transition. Fields sends it back up to the top of the key. Burris so good with the basketball, drives the lane, bumps off of Foxwell, and gets the tough shot to go. Burris had 22 in the first meeting between these two teams, has just 9 thus far tonight. But you can see why he leads them in assists. Oh my goodness, wide open under the basket. Owen Smith not found at first, but he does get the 2 points. As the entirety of the Milwaukee Tech fan base and bench jumped up and down and pointed out how open Owen Smith was. They did finally get him the ball, and the lead is back to 4, 53-49. Left side of the lane, sent outside, Burris. Trying to break down the Stormers on the dribble as he can do. Fields thought about 3, driving the lane, little floating jumper off the side of the rim, no good, out of bounds, Stormers basketball. Officially, it goes down as a team rebound for Milwaukee Tech. But Matthew Horde doing the smart thing, boxing out, making sure the Stormers get possession. He does not get credit for that board because he let it go out of bounds, but he will now come around a screen on the far side of the floor as they looked for the alley-oop, couldn't get it. They'll come back to the near side. Horde now driving the lane, ball slips out of his hands, will get whistle, and will get contact. And oh, by the way, that foul will go against South Suburban and Tanner Fields. That is his first. That is the 6th team foul against the Bulldogs. So with 14-19 remaining in the second half, the rest of the way, the Stormers will be in the bonus. That is noteworthy, and if you're Randy Casey, you might want to use that to your advantage. Go ahead, bang down low. See if you can get to the line. Granted, free throw shooting has not necessarily been a strength for the Stormers on the whole. As the Stormers turn the ball over, that is Matthew Horde, who wanted a foul call, didn't get it. Randy Casey not happy. Wet spot on the floor. We'll work on trying to clean that up. We'll see if there's a towel or something around. There we go. Tanner Fields. Doing the cleanup work. Something happened on the near side where a lot of the fans were calling for a technical foul. Not sure exactly what it was, but while the cleanup was going on, somebody must have said something. Ball knocked out of the hands of A.J. Abrams, picked up by the Stormers. All of a sudden now it's Milwaukee Tech starting to force some turnovers. His lead was 6 at halftime. It was 7 for much of the first half. It seemed like it bounced back and forth between being 7 and 5, got up to 9 at one point. It was 10 at its maximum here in the second half for South Suburban. And now the Stormers trying to cut into it even more. From the corner, 3 is up. Off the front rim, no. Tipped by Owen Smith. But are they going to call Smith for pushing off as he tried to tip the basketball? I think they will. Yep, Smith's going to get hit with that foul. And oh, by the way, we have that as Owen Smith's 4th personal foul. So he's going to have to head back to the bench. Big body for the Milwaukee Tech Stormers. The Trojan, the 6'8 sophomore out of Wauwatosa West. The green and white of the Tosa West Trojans. He will be replaced by another Woodland Conference member, Noah Daniels from New Berlin West. Tosa West was in the Woodland Conference for many, many years. They are now in the Greater Metro, if I'm not mistaken. Conferences have switched around quite a bit at the high school level in the Milwaukee area. They're completely different for football than they are for basketball. South Suburban with it back, trying to build on this 4-point lead after the Stormers couldn't cut into it. It's been a Sisyphean effort on the part of the Stormers driving the lane. Wow, nifty little windmill for Tyler Wooten, and he gets the layup to go. 4 now for Wooten in the basketball game. It seems like every time the Stormers start to get back close. That's Noah Daniels, who did come into the basketball game. Count the basket! Matthew Horde. Horde now leads the Stormers with 15. They're going to call the foul against Wooten. Second personal. Horde to the line. We have mentioned already he is a 74% free throw shooter. Had 23 points in the first meeting. Was 7 and 9 from the free throw line in that one. He gets this one to go. It is a 3-point game with 12:54 remaining in the second half. There has been no quit in the Stormers this March. And they're showing none of it tonight either. Driving the lane to the hoop. Wanting a goal, and South Suburban, they don't get it. It'll be a block. They say it was on the way up. Driving the lane. Foxwell gets it to go. It's a 1-point basketball game, 55-54. The heart of this Milwaukee Tech Stormers basketball team cannot be denied. Left side, Abrams. Back outside, 3-point try for Burris. Off the back rim, no. Looked like it was touched by the Stormers. Indeed, they will say it remains South Suburban basketball with 9 on the shot clock. Foxwell tried to sell it. Really did try to sell it. Yes, and it should be 20 on the shot clock as that shot did hit the side of the rim. Offensive rebound, the shot clock resets to 20. Defensive rebound, of course, it goes to the full 30. Any change of possession, it goes to the full 30. 3-pointer straight off the inbound pass, off the back rim, no. Look at Noah Daniels fighting for the rebound. He gets it for the Stormers. Bucket here gives Milwaukee Tech the lead. Working hard off the dribble, step back jumper off the front rim, no. Offensive rebound, Valentine. He gets it to go. First lead for the Stormers since the first half. 56-55. Burris. Euro step action out of bounds. It was knocked out of Abrams' hands. Timeout on the floor. The Stormers are up 56-55. 11:28 remaining in the second half. This is Stormers basketball. The lead got as big as 10 for the South Suburban Bulldogs. The Milwaukee Tech Stormers have not only erased it, they've gone back up one, 56-55, with 11:28 remaining in the second half. Matthew Horde with 16 points in the basketball game. Julian Valentine with 14. Cyrus Little has 13. South Suburban basketball, though, with 11:28 again remaining in the second half. And they'll try and get the lead right back. We said in the first half there would be ties and lead changes in this contest. Bad pass, taken away to the basket, laid up and in by Cyrus Little. Some laziness out of the timeout for South Suburban, although they come right back. And that's A.J. Abrams going to the hoop, getting his 19th point of the basketball game, and cutting the lead back to one for the Stormers, 58-57. Three-pointer by Valentine! Julian Valentine, red hot in this contest. It's a 4-point lead for the Stormers, 61-57. Burris to the near side. Wooten. Skip pass, far side, controlled by Mickens. Into the corner. Driving the lane to the hoop. Layup up and good for Abrams. He has been tough for the Stormers to stop. Again, 30 points in the first, meeting now 21 in this contest. Stormers up 2, 61-59. The lane parts. Cyrus Little goes to the hoop. He gets fouled. He'll get 2. Foul will go against South Suburban and Abrams, his third of the contest. Now, they just said second. So we'll check on the foul totals here. It is the 8th team foul, though, against South Suburban. So, again, while that was a shooting foul any way you slice it, the Stormers will go to the free throw line after every foul that is committed by South Suburban on the defensive end going forward. Tanner Fields comes off for the Bulldogs. He is replaced by Jerome White. First time we've seen White in this basketball game. He's a sophomore out of Scranton, Pennsylvania. Second free throw for Little. That one is good as well. Both Little and Valentine with 17 points in the basketball game. Stormers up 4, 63-59. Milwaukee Tech trying to complete the NJCAA version of a Cinderella story, at least in terms of their play in the postseason compared to the regular season. Of course, Randy Casey and this club used to being here at Rock Valley College for these District B championships. That is a tough shot by A.J. Abrams, and he gets it to go. Foul goes against Matthew Horde. First of the contest for him, 4th team foul against Milwaukee Tech in the second half. A.J. Abrams. They're going to try and get the ball into his hands every possession of the basketball game that he's on the court going forward. Free throw is good. Abrams now has 24 in the contest. And you know John Pagatti is perfectly fine with A.J. Abrams trying to carry the offense for the Bulldogs. The remainder of this contest, 63-62. Milwaukee Tech sees their lead go back to 1 after the and 1 for Abrams, and he gets the free throw to go 2. Scooping layup around the rim and good. Antonio Foxwell. 6 now in the contest for him. The lead's back to 3 for the Stormers, 65-62. Ball bounces off the chest of A.J. Abrams, but he controls it. Hands it off to White. Again, a weave look here for the Bulldogs. Burris back outside. Abrams again kicks it out. Jumper just inside the arc. Off glass and good for Jerome White. That's some old school 1950s style basketball there, going off glass from just inside the arc. But if it falls, it falls. The bank is open late on a Saturday night for the Bulldogs, 65-64. Stormers once again up 1. Foul on the way to the basket. A lot of contact on the rebound. Valentine going for the ball. Kind of caught Burris not looking. John Pagatti making his opinion known. Didn't catch who the foul was on there as John Pagatti was engaging in a rant. First free throw for Foxwell is good. Pagatti is still shouting. Looks like he is shouting at the South Suburban player who just came off the floor. I believe that may be Mickens. Trying to see that far away. It's kind of hard to tell. It might be DJ Moss. Second free throw is also good for the Stormers. Foxwell now has 8 points in the basketball game. That'll be a travel. Stormers basketball. 8:53 left in this second half. James Morgan comes back on the floor for South Suburban. Replaces White. Brief appearance for White, but he does get into the scorebook with 2 points. Stormers trying to expand on this 3-point lead. Entry pass tipped. That'll be off of Milwaukee Tech, trying to save it from going out of bounds. Matthew Horde. He ends up paying the price for his effort. Correction. Cyrus Little is the one who emerges from the gap between two sections of bleachers here. Disappearing into the corn. A la something out of Field of Dreams. Cyrus Little. If you build it, they will come. 67-64, but the Bulldogs with the basketball down 3. Ball gets away from Burris for a moment, but he's able to get it back. Along the baseline, tough little runner is good for A.J. Abrams, who now has 26 in the contest. The lead is back to 1 for the Stormers, 67-66. Much the way in the first half of this contest, the lead just kind of hovered around 7 points for the Bulldogs. Now it's hovering around that 3-point mark for Milwaukee Tech. Although it's back down to 1 after that Bulldogs basket. Far side, 3-point try. Foxwell around the rim, no good. Daniels, ball was tipped up in the air. He's able to get it. Valentine for 3. Off the front rim, no good. Another offensive board for the Stormers. Must be something about that half of the floor. All of a sudden, the Stormers now getting all the offensive boards. Great cut into the lane. Valentine, it's good. Julian Valentine, 19 points in the basketball game. Stormers back up 3, 69-66. Far side, A.J. Abrams. Burris back to Abrams. You know Abrams wants to break somebody down. He's got 26 points in the basketball game right now. Back outside. Burris, he'll take up the pull-up jumper just inside the arc. No good. Looked like it went off South Suburban. No, they're going to say that Matthew Horde was the one who touched it last. Horde brought it down, but it looked like it went off the South Suburban player from this angle. The official on that side is the one who calls it. Randy Casey is out at midcourt, and he's saying, what was that? And I agree with him. Call made by the official who did not have the angle. I hate to say it, folks. As much as I like to give credit to all of the officials who do their job at every level of sport, that was the incorrect call. Media timeout. 7:16 remaining in the second half. Don't go anywhere. 69-66. Stormers up on Bulldogs. This is Stormers basketball. South Suburban basketball with 7:16 remaining in the second half. Milwaukee Tech, though, with a 3-point lead as we try and determine who will go to Danville, Illinois in the NJCAA Division II National Tournament from District B in Region 4. District A won by the Bobcats of Bryant and Stratton of Milwaukee. They have punched their ticket. Milwaukee Tech trying to join them and make it 2 teams from Milwaukee. Down in Danville, 3-pointer off the front rim, no good, tipped up in the air, controlled by the Stormers. Big stop for Milwaukee Tech. Far too early to start thinking about running clock here. The Stormers, they want to get points on the offensive end, they want to get stops on the defensive end. trying to build on this 3-point lead. Foxwell. Tough pull-up jumper off the dribble and good! Antonio Foxwell. He does the work himself and he makes it a 5-point lead for the Stormers, 71-66. Just inside the arc, pull-up jumper for Burris, it's good. Samar Burris now into double digits. He's got 11, 3 Bulldogs with 10 or more points right now. But the Stormers have the lead, 71-68. At this level, where you only get 2 years to work with players, it's about growth and development. Shot off glass, no good. Rebound for the Bulldogs. DJ Moss, straight up the floor. Someone's got to step up from Milwaukee Tech. Moss can't get the layup to go, though, and Cyrus Little, even though he was trailing, gets the board. Little nice look into the lane. Noah Daniels' layup is good. 73-68. 5-point lead for the Stormers. 5:35 and counting remaining in the second half. Talk about growth. Yes, rough season for the Stormers, especially compared to much of the success they've had over the last 6-7 years. But another missed shot for the Bulldogs. Coming down with the rebound is Little. Daniels back outside. Little again. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. A lot of contact. That'll be a foul against DJ Moss. Bulldogs now have 10 fouls in the half. Stormers will go to the free throw line for 2 every trip going forward. Two free throws to come for Cyrus Little. Again, he was 9 of 10 from the line the first time these two teams met. About a 73% free throw shooter on the season. That one rattles around and out. Dang it, the broadcaster's curse struck at the wrong time. Can't talk about how good a guy is at the free throw line while he's shooting. That's an automatic way to make him miss one. 3 subs come in for South Suburban. Torian Mickens, Tanner Fields, 3-point threat, and Koopa Sensenshin. Also back out there for the Stormers, Owen Smith. He returns to the floor with 4 fouls. Second free throw for Cyrus Little. That one is good. 6-point lead for Milwaukee Tech. Now we've got a question about the substitution because it looked like Mickens came onto the floor and then came off. Tyler Wooten heads off the floor. We're going to have some discussion between 2 of our 3 officials. It is Andrew Williams and Forrest Elysiak at center court. John Pagatti, I think you may have picked up on that on the microphone. He said, don't listen to the crowd. They don't know what they're talking about. John Pagatti is so loud. Not only can you probably hear him throughout the city of Rockford, you could probably hear him all the way back in South Holland. You might be able to hear him back in Milwaukee, to be honest with you. Quite the character. Always has been. John Pagatti. South Suburban down 6, 74-68. Stepping out of bounds with the basketball is Burris. Stormers ball. 4:50 remaining. It's about getting it done at the right time of year. Still a lot of time left in this one, though. Nothing guaranteed, even though the Stormers are up 6. Little outside the arc, driving the lane. Tries to send a pass towards Valentine. Valentine retrieves it after it's knocked about. 10 on the shot clock for the Stormers. Valentine. Shifty little move, loses the basketball. We'll get a foul call. And that might be a kind call for the Stormers, not going to lie. Gets called against Fields. He's got 2. And again, whether or not Valentine was shooting, it matters not. He gets 2 charity stripe tosses. First one for Valentine. That is good. 20 now in the ball game for Julian Valentine. He only had 12 in the first meeting between these two teams, averaging just 7.1 points per game. He got hot early in this contest, though, from outside. And he's been getting the job done for the Stormers throughout the night. It is an 8-point lead, 76-68. Now it's a matter of playing some good defense. No need to commit silly fouls here if you're the Stormers. The Bulldogs have to do the work. The more you can defend, the more you can take these shot clocks down deep, the better. Although that's Torian Mickens heading to the basket. He gets two. 76-70, we should say, in favor of the Stormers. We will have one more media timeout. It'll come at the next stoppage. Little pass is tipped away from his intended target of Valentine. It goes out of bounds. It will remain Stormers basketball. They will get it in the backcourt with 13 seconds on the shot clock after this media timeout. After a sub-500 regular season, can the Milwaukee Tech Stormers win yet another district championship and make their way back to Danville, Illinois, and the NJCAA National Tournament? We will find out in the final 3 minutes and 44 seconds of this game, with the Stormers currently up 6, 76-70. This is Stormers basketball. Randy Casey, head coach of the Milwaukee Tech Stormers in his 16th season. He's won every award you can just about think of for a coach at the NJCAA Division II level. National Coach of the Year, Region Coach of the Year, State of Wisconsin Coach of the Year, you name it, Randy Casey has won it. But the coaching job he has done over the course of the last week and a half may be one of the best of his career, taking this team that throughout this season has at times just struggled to find the connections and putting everything together at just the right time. Driving the lane, layup is good for Antonio Foxwell. Foxwell now has 12. It's back to an 8-point lead. With injuries, with the struggles. Foul on the part of Milwaukee Tech. 2 free throws to come for the Bulldogs. Foul goes against Cyrus Little. They say that is his 4th personal foul, 5th team foul. Two free throws for the Bulldogs. A.J. Abrams, not a great free throw shooter, 61.5% entering this game. First free throw is good. Unfortunately, the reverse broadcaster's curse does not work right now. Was hoping for it. Abrams leads all scorers in the contest with 27 points. Second one around and out. Kind of worked. 3:13 remaining. Stormers up 7, 78-71. Cyrus Little, no reason to be anything but patient here. Comes off a screen by Foxwell. Looking to drive the right side of the lane. Help comes over. Outside. 3-point try. Horde. Bang! Matthew Horde! 81-71. It's a double-digit lead for the Stormers. Fields outside the arc. Abrams just inside the lane. Back outside. Fields for 3. Off the back rim, no. 3 Stormers there for the rebound. It comes down to Smith in the end. South Suburban starting to feel a sense of urgency. Under 2.5 minutes left. Milwaukee Tech playing it cool. Cyrus Little. Bounce pass, Valentine. Little handoff. Horde. Got that last shot. This one goes off the back rim. Rebound comes down to the Bulldogs and Sinsentian. Bulldogs now know they've got to hurry. Driving the lane. Tough look, no good. Rebound dunk for Sinsentian. And they'll call the foul. It's a big dunk, sure, and he'll get one more, but it doesn't count for 10 points, folks. The foul is called against Foxwell. First call of the game against him. Sinsentian, he'll go to the line for one more with 1:57 remaining in this second quarter. Trying to cut the lead back to 7. After it rattles around the rim, it does fall. 81-74. Noah Daniels returns for the Stormers. He replaces Matthew Horde, who will get a breather. Might be offense-defense here. Up the floor, got to be careful. Antonio Foxwell double-teamed. We'll have a timeout taken by Milwaukee Tech. Now again, right now the scoreboard is showing as no timeouts remaining for the Stormers. They are indicating it is a full timeout for Milwaukee Tech, which oftentimes means that it is the final timeout for the Stormers because usually most coaches take their 30s first. We just did see Travis Mrozik, assistant coach for the Stormers, head over to the table, and he gave a 0 signal. So it does look like the Stormers are out of timeouts. That is important to note for the final minute and 47 of this game. That's something if you're Randy Casey, somewhere in the midst of the very emotional conversation he is having with his team right now, because Randy Casey does not have any conversations that are not emotional. He has to tell his team, hey, don't pull a Chris Webber here if you know anything about college basketball history and call that timeout that you don't have. 81-74. Stormers up by 7. 1:47 remaining in the second half. The Stormers have won this district championship 5 of the last 6 years. 5 of the last 6 times this tournament has been held, we should say, of course, with COVID. The Stormers, who were ranked number 1 in the country that year, did not get the opportunity to try and fulfill their destiny and become national champions. The team did get rings that year. They said uncrowned kings on the inside. Of course, then, Milwaukee Tech in 2023, they got their crown. Went to Danville, Illinois, and won a Division II national NJCAA championship. 15 on the shot clock for the Stormers out of their final timeout of the game. In the corner, Antonio Foxwell, final timeout of regulation, we should say. Pull-up jumper just inside the arc, off glass and good! Cyrus Little leads back to 9. Little now has 20 in the ball game. Three-pointer off the front rim, off the shot clock by rule, out of bounds. Stormers basketball. A lot of pushing and shoving on the inbound pass, but it is tossed in by Smith. Before the 5-second call, over the top of the hand of Noah Daniels. He knocks it down just enough for South Suburban to be able to chase it down. That's a turnover at a key time for the Stormers. 70 seconds left in this contest. Move to the basket, no good for Burris. Stormers get the rebound, a lot of contact. A bear hug by Sinsentian. We'll head to the other end to shoot free throws. Sinsentian will get hit with that foul. 4 fouls on him. Of course, the Stormers have been in the double bonus pretty much since a little after or a little before, we should say, the 5-minute mark remaining in this contest. So 2 free throws for Antonio Foxwell. Foxwell, a good free throw shooter at 79.3%. He gets the first to go. The lead is back to 10, 84-74. Second free throw off the front rim, no. Rebound comes to Tanner Fields. 1 minute between the Stormers and another trip to Danville. Far side of the floor, Fields for 3. Well long, off the backboard, right to Noah Daniels. Daniels is fouled. He will head to the line. Starting to see some hugs, starting to see some smiles on that Milwaukee Tech bench. Starting to smell another trip to Danville right now, those Milwaukee Tech Stormers. Daniels at the line. He's got 4 points in the game. First free throw. Off the front rim, off the backboard, no. New faces in for South Suburban. Roberta Guida comes on, wearing number 25, along with Cameron Ellis. 2 reserves for the Bulldogs. Second free throw is good for Noah Daniels. One could interpret the Bulldogs putting a couple subs on as perhaps waving the white flag. Three-pointer, no good for Mickens. Daniels with the rebound. Bulldogs are not fouling. And the bench for the Stormers stands up. 12-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Stormers might be content to just take the turnover here. It's going to be the Milwaukee Tech Stormers going back to the national tournament. 3, 2, 1, shot at the shot clock, horn off the front rim, no good. Rebound bounced around, it comes to the Stormers. Cyrus Little, another district championship for the Milwaukee Tech Stormers. They defeat South Suburban 85-74. And despite a 12-17 regular season, the Stormers make their way through Region 4 District B and are headed back to the NJCAA Division II National Tournaments. What a postseason run for the Stormers, and it will continue on in Danville, Illinois. How fitting, too, for this Milwaukee Tech Stormers team. Down 10 to the South Suburban Bulldogs. They beat the top-ranked team in the bracket. They beat the second-ranked team in the bracket. They come from behind in this championship game, and they find a way to take home another District B plaque. It's not always about having dominant teams and making your way to championships with teams that you know are good. It's about taking a group that needs to show growth, that needs to come together, and putting it together over the course of a season. And that's what Randy Casey did with this group this March to get them to this point. You can see the look on Randy Casey's face right now as he steps towards that table. It's one of relief. It's one of exasperation. But getting some love from his assistant coaches, it's well deserved. Of course, his dad by his side. He takes a seat on that bench. An excited group of Stormers. You know, and as I see Randy Casey right now, and we'll hold that thought while we go to the award ceremony.
We want to congratulate to our 2025 Midwest District runner-up. Presenting the trophy is the Area Region 4 Director, Arnie Tavera, and the Assistant Athletic Director, Tim Romanello, from Rock Valley College, to the South Suburban Bulldogs.
Bulldogs have already left the court. A couple of assistants accept it. The Stormers are all still there, though.
Our 2025 Midwest District B and Region 4 champions, the MATC Stormers.
I know you're only getting so much of the audio from the PA. We don't have a direct line here.
Awarded to the 2025 Midwest District B Coach of the Year for the MATC Stormers, Randy Casey.
Every honor Randy Casey has won, he deserves, folks. The Stormers celebrate. It's never guaranteed. And if you talked with anyone who follows Milwaukee Tech basketball going into the postseason, it's been a long time since there has been as much doubt about whether or not the Stormers could get to Danville as there was about this team. Understandably so. And this is a knock. This is not a knock on this team. This really is not a knock. The fact that they came in with this record of 12-17 on the season. It's more a credit to what they have been able to overcome to get to this point. It was a struggle at times throughout this year, no doubt, for this Milwaukee Tech Stormers team. But in the end, they find a way. And it's yet another District B championship for the Stormers. They have won 6 of the last 7. You never take these for granted. You never, ever take these for granted. And to have done it this consistently, at this level, absolutely amazing what Randy Casey has done with this program in this decade. All credit, all around, to everyone involved with this program. So much reason to be proud of what this team has done this year. Perseverance. This Stormers team had it in spades. We do have some final stats for you that we can pass along in this 85-74 victory for the Milwaukee Tech Stormers. Stormers for the game shoot 53.7%. Again, the shooting in the first contest, particularly from outside, just was not that great. But the Stormers hit on 41.2% of their three-pointers in this contest. Julian Valentine, 5 of 8 from beyond the arc. He was outstanding shooting the basketball in this contest. He finishes with 21 points to lead the Stormers. Cyrus Little has 20 points. Matthew Hort has 19. Antonio Foxwell has 13 for the Stormers in this game. Stormers also shoot 80% from the free throw line. They were 15 of 18, 83% in the second half. And that was a matter of the Stormers getting to the line as often as they did. They got the Bulldogs in foul trouble early in that second half. Every foul, getting back to the free throw line and taking advantage. Over on the other side for South Suburban, A.J. Abrams led all scorers with 27 points. They put 3 men into double figures. Torian Mickens had 19. Samar Burris had 11 in the contest. Abrams, hey, he showed what he can do with the basketball. Outstanding player. 10 of 15 shooting in this contest. Also 7 of 9 from the free throw line. 27 points. Now, at the half, we had talked about the rebounding in this game. At halftime, the South Suburban Bulldogs led the rebounding battle 23-16. Final total in this contest, Milwaukee Tech 35 rebounds, South Suburban 32. South Suburban had 11 offensive rebounds in the first half. They only had 4 in the second half. Milwaukee Tech, 3 offensive rebounds in the first half, 6 in the second half. The Stormers made the changes they needed to erase a 10-point deficit by the South Suburban Bulldogs and become District B champions. This was a fun basketball game to watch, especially if you are a supporter of MATC athletics. My goodness. And again, emblematic of the season on the whole. Emblematic of the season on the whole. There's no other way to put it. It was a struggle. It didn't look good for a while. Certainly that first half, the tape that you see of it, not the way that the Stormers want to play basketball. But the second half, hey, you know what? You don't want to run into this Stormers team in Danville. You really don't. Again, 2 Milwaukee teams punched their ticket tonight here at the Physical Education Center, Rock Valley College. Yes, it was the rival Bryanton Stratton Bobcats who won the District A championship earlier tonight. But in the District B championship, throw out the records from the regular season, folks. The Milwaukee Tech Stormers, they win their 6th District B championship in 7 years by the final score of 85-74. Stormers put up 50 points in the second half compared to 33 for South Suburban. Defense as well. South Suburban ends up shooting 40.8% from the game. Just 2 of 8 beyond the arc in the second half. 10 turnovers for the Bulldogs, 7 of those in the second half. The Stormers committed just 4 in the second half. They did have more for the contest with 13, but they won the battle that mattered, and that is the one in the scoring column. Want to say thanks to everyone involved with the broadcast, all of the folks from MATC, LaShondra, Neo Soul Productions, as always, doing a great job, all of the help that we get. Of course, Travis Mrozek, everyone with MATC Athletics, Randy Casey, Athletic Director, appreciate all of their help as well. My name is Dan Pfeiffer, saying be a fan, thanks for joining us, and if you get the chance, look for notifications about a fan bus heading down to Danville as the Milwaukee Tech Stormers head to the national tournament once again as Division II Region 4 District B champions as a result of tonight's 85-74 victory over the South Suburban College Bulldogs. This has been Milwaukee Tech Stormers basketball. Good night, everybody.